Wyslouch here. Welcome to Musical Quick Tips. New quick tips every week. Mostly. We're actually taking a break this August. Anyways, today's quick tip. Fortify your melodies with cross-picking. Quick side note. We've reached 1,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. That's very exciting. I want to send a big thank you out to all of you who have made that possible. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already, please do so. It's a great way to help out this channel. Just hit the subscribe button below. Hit the like button. Place a little comment. In previous quick tips, we've discussed coming up with dozens, if not hundreds, of cross-picking patterns. You can refer to quick tip number 32 to know what I'm talking about. We've also talked about how to harmonize melodies, how to imply melodies and chords at the same time with triad shapes. We've put the melody on the top of the triads and we put the melody on the bottom of the triads. Today what I want to do is talk about combining all that. Playing melody and cross-picking at the same time is a great way to dictate the rhythmic feel of a song. It's a great way to fill up space in between the notes. It's kind of like the guitar player taking on the role of a banjo player. Most vocal melodies in bluegrass can be expressed rhythmically by quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. By cross-picking, in addition to playing the melody, we aim to fill up all the space in between there without losing that core melody. So let's discuss the method. Step 1, know the melody. Step 2, know the harmonization. Today we're going to be dealing exclusively with the melody being on the bottom of the triads. If this doesn't make sense, please refer to quick tip number 33 for a more in-depth explanation. Step 3, engage the melody where it originally happened. But now we fill in all the eighth note space in between melody notes with notes from the harmonizing triad. Let's take a hypothetical melody. It's a 1-bar melody. The melody note is D. Good. The chord is G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yup. Good. So if I were to render that instrumentally, it would just be. But I want to fill in all that space in between. So in order to harmonize, step 2, I would use a second inversion triad. Why? The melody note D is on the bottom, and then the other two notes of the chord, G and B, lay right on top of it. So now in theory, we have 7 eighth notes that we can occupy after we hit the melody note. So we could take a cross-picking pattern, and as long as it starts on that melody note D, it would fulfill our aim of playing the melody and cross-picking. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4. We engaged the melody where it's supposed to happen, and then we filled up all the eighth notes after with a cross-picking pattern. That was a melody that was a whole note. Let's take a melody that is 2 half notes, also the duration of a bar. Let's say D to E. The chord is over a G. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. Now we move on to step 2. We harmonize it with the melody note on the bottom of a triad. 1, 2, 3, 4. In between each melody note, we have 3 eighth notes that we need to occupy. Where are we going to get these eighth notes from? We're just going to bounce them off of the triad there. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our cross-picked version of that melody. We could also alter the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a quick note. As long as the melody note is played when it's supposed to be played, it doesn't matter if that melody note recurs in our cross-picking pattern. Let's do one more. A melody consisting of 4 quarter notes for the duration of 1 bar of 4 beats. Let's say the melody goes D, E, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say that's over a G chord. Good. Step 2, we harmonize it with the melody on the bottom of a triad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Remember, if we want to engage a melody note where it's supposed to happen always, we actually only have 1 eighth note between each one of those quarter notes. But we can use our same basic system. We're just going to be ping-ponging off of other notes in the corresponding triad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Between the multitude of cross-picking patterns and all the different harmonization options, you start to have a lot of choices. It can be quite overwhelming. What's the best way to deal with this? Come up with one arrangement of one song you really love and problem solve it deeply. Go in and figure out what each eighth note is doing, where exactly your hands will be at every single moment in time. That way you start problem solving the theoretical aspect of it. Okay, what shape are we going to use for what melody note, what cross-picking pattern? And then you just start dealing with the physical and practical challenges of actually playing this stuff and making it all flow. Last week we worked on harmonizing with the melody on the bottom of the triads, My Rose of Old Kentucky by Bill Monroe. So, we've already completed steps 1 and 2 with that tune, so let's just put some cross-picking to it. 1, 2, 3. Sounds kind of banjo-like. Sounds pretty cool. So let's do a little quick breakdown of a piece of that. So the melody starts off with 3 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Cool. That means we only have 1/8 note to bounce off. The harmony we just had. So I'm just bouncing off the notes of the other triad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Cool. Then we land on a B note, on a B chord. And by the way, we are on capo 4, playing at a G position. Triad is just a root inversion. Another melody note actually doesn't come in until beat 2 of the next bar, so we have quite a bit of space to just fill it in with a long cross-picking pattern. On bar 2, on beat 2, we have another 3 quarter notes. Again, I'm just going to occupy that 8th note space between each one of those notes with another note of the triad that I've already harmonized. So I hope you just get the general idea for the method. I don't want you to just learn one thing by rote and forget about it. I want you to go through the whole method and really figure out a system so that you could tackle any melody and apply cross-picking to it. Some people are visual people. They have to sit there and literally tab out where each note is going to be. That's great. Do not hold back from doing that. A lot of people need to develop a visual system before they can actually figure out how to do it on the fly. Of course, the more you do it visually, the more you'll develop that visual map in your head and be able to do it on the fly, whether you're improvising or coming up with an arrangement for your band, for example. If you harmonize your melodies in the middle of the triad, at the top of the triad, lots of different options start to open up. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you again in September for weekly quick tips. In the meantime, thank you so much for subscribing and consider becoming a patron on my Patreon page. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.